Hello and welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to do another unboxing of our final game that we have to unbox, at least for a couple of days anyway. It's a game we just got off of Kickstarter. It was a reprint of a game from 2010 called Pret-a-Porter or Pret-a-Porter, however you want to pronounce it. It's a game by Ignacy Trzewiczek. He's also the designer of Robinson Crusoe, among some other games. He did a sequel to it, a Martian game after that, which has had similar mechanics to Robinson Crusoe. But Robinson Crusoe, definitely one of our favorite games. And the art here is by, I'm going to butcher this, Ignacy Moria, and it's a game about the fashion industry, as you can tell. So it's got work replacement in it, it's got set collection, and amongst other mechanics, but those are a couple of the main ones, card play, and so forth. So it's a third edition, so they did do a reprint in between this, and then there's this one right here. And this one, the artwork in it is amazing, and it really fits the industry and everything like that. So yeah, so without further ado, let's get to the unboxing here. So as you can see here, it's from ages 10 and above, which kind of surprised me. I thought it would be a little bit higher than that, because some games like Chocolate Factory, which I just got, had I believe it was an age range of 14 and above, and that seems like it's a little easier of a game than this seemed to be, but I could be wrong. I haven't actually played this game. It's 90 to 120 minutes, which I believe is very conservative. It probably takes at least 120 minutes to play. And that's for the two players there. And I suppose once you get going, you can do it a little faster, but I'd say a minimum of at least 2 hours on this one. Probably more like 2.5. Anyway, 2 to 4 players. Don't know if there is well, there is no solo mode with it, but there may be one coming out on, possibly on Board Game Geek, but we'll see, because you have to, I imagine they could always make one. Or maybe we'll make one ourselves eventually. So, alright. So lots of stuff inside as usual. So again, this is a Kickstarter edition. I believe we got the upgraded version of it. So we're probably going to have some upgraded components in it. And it did win some awards. The National Gamers Award for the original one, finalist. And Roku, some kind of award there in 2011. So it's definitely a heavy Euro that perfectly blends the rules with its unique theme. Definitely a unique theme, which is one of the reasons that we get attracted to it. We wanted to get Rococo, but that is going for upwards of $100 plus dollars for that, and plus they're doing a reprint on Rococo coming up. So this is a game with a similar type theme that has to do with dressmaking, and this has to do with clothes making. So one of the most thematic economic games on the market. So definitely we like the economics part of it, and with a good theme, that's a win-win there. So let's read it. Pret-a-Porter is an economic game with direct interaction. During fashion shows scoring rounds, players compete for awards that gain them both immediate cash and long-term victory points. Pret-a-Porter simulates running a company in a crowded space with competitors fighting for limited customers and market shares. And it definitely does seem the theme does come very strong, as I've noticed in some of the playthroughs that I've seen so far. Alright, it says, and let's see here. So let's read this too. Pret-a-Porter is one of the most thematic games in the heavy Euro games genre, designed by Ignacy Trzewiczek, who is also known for his highly story-driven titles like Robinson Crusoe, which we mentioned, and Detective. Pret-a-Porter is a tense economic game which puts you in the shoes of a manager in the fashion industry, hiring employees, designing and producing clothing collections, and frantically preparing for high-stakes fashion shows. Okay, and I'm trying to think the designer here was, I I just don't recognize the symbol there. From Poland, made in Poland. Yeah, I just don't recognize the actual. I can't think of the company there. I'm sure I'll note it in the subtitle, not subtitles, but in the in text notes what that is. But I just can't think of it offhand. I'm sure it's in the book too. So we'll tell you about it then when we get to that. So all right, so let's get our scissors here and open it up and see what's inside. So kind of interesting way it was sealed here. It didn't quite make it all the way down here, the box cover, so I don't know if that was intentional like that or what, or if it just maybe during shipping. So let's try to do this without cutting anything. So the plastic in it it's pretty thin. One thing I noticed there. Seems to be not very thick plastic on it. Alright, so let's take a look at it here and open it up. Alright. Let's see what we have here. So first of all, we have a thank you for backing Pret-a-Porter Kickstarter. That's why I didn't mention it. We did get this off Kickstarter. So yeah, so this was a, let's see, first player token. Wooden round tracker. Yes, we do get some extras in it. 2-piece plastic insert. So some of these I believe were stretch goals. And all ultra gold cardboard. Ultra solid cardboard. So it looks like they upgraded that. 60 alternative design cards. So we had 10 additional cards with the art from Ryan Lukat. Yeah, I think these are all stretch goals. 10 cards with art from Tomas Zedruzek. 10 additional 10 cards from Piero. 10 cards with the art of Mihailo Trzewiczek. And then 10 additional cards from David Cochard. And then 10 additional cards from Matthew Lezine. So it looks like 1, 2, 30, 40, 50, 60 additional cards. And then 96 screen printed wood pieces. So that was, yeah, that's nice. And 2 scenery. Scenario, sorry. A new scenario mode. Yeah, and we did get a piece here. And this was outside the box. So this is a couple of different scenarios. This one, modern times. It looks like it has some kind of an app you can use on your cell phone. And same thing here, hype train. So another scenario here. So it definitely adds to the replayability there. So that's cool. Alright, so same thing on the back here. Yeah, looks like there's some stuff on the back here. So we get 5 starting cards, an extra set of starting cards, free for every backer who backed the campaign within the first 24 hours. I don't think we did that, so I think we just missed that, possibly. So I don't think that's in there. Then a little note from the designer. My name is Ignacy Trzewiczek. I'm a designer of Pret-a-Porter. Once again, I'd like to thank you for your support during the campaign. I've said it many times, but I'll say it again. The effects of the campaign exceeded my expectations. I hope we'll have a great time with the game. It's one of my first big, complex designs, created about 10 years ago, and I think it aged well. It is still challenging, engaging, and very thematic at the same time. I believe that with the stunning artwork, with additional components from the campaign, with beautiful decks illustrated with amazing artists, we brought you a fantastic title. Thank you for playing my game. And let's see here. What do we got here? Oh, Portal Games. That's it. Portal Games US. So Portal Games. We got here. Appreciation. A 30% discount code usable on one of our web shops. Oh, I'll have to check that out. See what that is. And here, it's another code here for Europe and rest of the world. Oh, same thing. So we use the code on the left. So that's good through the end of December. So we'll have to check that out. See if there's anything on there that we might want to get. Very cool. So that's a nice little note from the designer. It's about what we're getting. All right, and here is the. I have to move this here a little bit. Here's the rule book. Instructions. So goal of the game. It's always nice to have the goal of the game right on the front cover there. So if you want to freeze and read that, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's an unboxing, not a reading. So if you want to stop that and read that, go right ahead. And same thing here. If you wanted to stop that and read that, you can do that. Alright, so here are the components and everything. So components inside the here, and more components over here. So some nice components, as you can see here. A lot of the thread, I think these are all wooden in here, wooden materials, which is nice. But definitely very thematic, even down to the tokens and everything. Set up the game, and then setup. Nice visual of that, how you set up everything. The main board here, and the player boards. And then your cards overview. So how you use the cards. From what I've heard, I think it's Broken Meeple. I read a review that he did on it, and he said you just basically followed the rule book. I think it was him. Might not have been. But you just basically read the rule book, and it made sense the way it was followed through. It just flowed really well, let's just say. So that, hopefully that is true. Okay, game overview. And then a working round, what you do on the rounds. Always good to know that. Another working round continued. So more stuff to do. So it looks like you bank, contracts, buildings, employees, new designs. This is how you resolve, I think, the work replacement spots. Local manufacturer. And then warehouse, import, and last minute preparations. So that's your that, and growth phase, upkeep phase. Yeah, everything looks like it's really well laid out, which is nice. And then your exhibition during the exhibits, prestige exchange phase, show phase, award phase, and then two-player game. The differences in a two-player game, three-player game, four-player game during the exhibition round. And the different tokens you get. Oops, sorry, the different tokens you get. And then your sales phase, so you can sell after you go to the show with your designs and everything that you've created, you can sell them for profit, which is nice. So I believe it's instead of a victory point game, it's whoever has the most money at the end, I think. Could be wrong on that one. Take a look at it, see if we can find the final scoring in here. So, some more sample of a round. And then the upkeep phase and the last quarter. Rounds 10 through 12. 10 through 12, yep. And final scoring. So let's see. Final scoring at the end of their last round. Before players count their cash and there are victory points, sorry. So I think cash are the tiebreaker. One final prestige exchange phase is carried out. Meaning that the prestige tokens gained during the last round should be exchanged for victory points. Yeah. So I guess everything does get exchanged for victory points, or your tokens anyway. Unpaid loans, which you cannot pay off. The company has... Yeah, so this is kind of a harsh thing, which he generally has in some of his games, that if you have loans in this and you don't pay them off, then you can't win. So, which makes sense, I guess. But yeah. And then you have, finally, each player totals their final score by adding up their cash and victory points. So cash, it's a combination of cash and victory points. And the player with the highest total wins the game. In case of a tie, the tied player with more victory points on the track wins the game. Their company is the most prestigious. So it's like prestige, victory points, so forth. And you have an advanced variant for the game. So very cool. So it's a nice 20-page rule book, which is about the right length, 16 and 20 pages, somewhere around there. All right, and now one of my favorite things to do is the punch outs. This is the money, and This kind of reminds me of the money in Pipeline, which are nice, thick cardboard. And that's definitely nice, thick cardboard. Good quality there, it looks like. So these are the $1. Looks like credit. These are like credit cards here. Kind of neat, like a mini credit card. So that's one. I'm not sure if it's $1 or $1 million or whatever it is. It's probably like 1,000 possibly. So let me see if they give the units that it's in. Yeah, it doesn't say specifically right here. It might in the actual instructions, but oh, there it is right there. It just gives cash tokens, so 1 unit, I guess. I guess they go by units. These are the 1s and 5s. And some more 1s right here. And then lots of stuff to punch out here. It's very nice. So these are like your different prestige, your different ribbons and awards you get for doing various things in the game, during shows and whatnot. So again, these are nice and thick. So lots of stuff to punch out. And I think these are the player boards. The big ones right here. These are 2 of the player boards. Yep, because these are employees you can hire. Here you put your employees down below on the cards. And then I think these are for the on the right here for the shows. Whoops. I'll show you one of these. So these are gonna vary from game to game. So nice and thick tokens there. So very cool. And a couple more player boards. And again, more stuff for the different shows. And then some of the pattern stuff you can make. And lots of money coming up right here. So tons of money here. Again, nice and thick. Let's see what the backs look like. It's the same in the back. And here's a nice tray right here, which sits on top. Nice plastic tray. So you can put your different, clearly label the what you can, so you can put your ribbons and awards and whatnot in here. And let's see what we got here. So these are your, it's like your thread. Yeah, these are wooden. Very nice. Looks like they're heat transferred or something on these. These are decent. They almost look like the candy from Chocolate Factory, except these are, obviously you're not going to have blue candy, but so this is a thread, and it's got like the, I don't know if you can see that, how that shows up on your thing. Let's see if I can get it to focus here. Maybe not. But yeah, it's got grooves in the thread, which is nice, so it looks like, it actually does look like thread. Yeah, I don't think that's going to focus, but you can see you can kind of see the grooves right there. So this is your blue thread. And then your green thread. Same thing, basically. Except it's green. Yellow thread. Purple thread. And your red thread. And finally your white thread. Oh, now it's going to focus, of course. Okay. So it looks like 1, 2, 6 different kinds of thread. Which kind of reminds me a little bit of Fresco with the different things of paint. So very nice. Nice little tray there. And then your game board, which I will set up and show you afterward, but that's just part of it. Very nice artwork on everything. And let's see, lots of stuff in the bottom tray. So there's another bottom tray here, which is going to have a whole bunch of stuff in it. So let's take a look at this one by one. We'll take a look at the components and then first, and then the the wooden pieces, and then we'll look at the cards. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. Some kind of an eraser or something, it looks like. Some kind of a token. And then you have your plus 100. These look like your, yeah, I think these are your workers right here. So it's got like a heat transfer type of thing. So this is the blue player. And then of course, the yellow player. And this is looks like some sort of a timer. Got a little timer thing on it. That might be the round timer, possibly. And let's see here. The two colors. So you have your player token there. And then your fourth little guy here. So there's definitely some unique colors. So we can get these all to show up at once. So there you go. So definitely some unique bright colors, which is cool. And then it looks like some other tokens with negative numbers on them. Okay, so these are some tokens, and it looks like there's some more tokens in here. So we'll show you those next. Okay. Yeah. Oh, these are actually, I think, the workers right here. So that must be for something else. Maybe that might be the victory point thing. Which I think it is. I think those are the victory point markers. And then these are basically the same things, except they're round. It looks like there's 3 of each. Show each one of each one of the colors again. There you go. Now it focuses. And then finally your, oh, not blue, looks like pink. Sometimes it wants to focus, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, I think you get the idea. So 3 of each player, so 12 total. Voila, there you go. And I think that is it for the tokens. Now it's all the cards. So let's see what we get here. So we got some special powers you can do. Let's see what we got here. Again, I have not played this game. Any of the older versions of it, so it looks like these are kind of like different powers you can get in the game. Let's see, sorry. Just don't want to touch the mouse here. So I'll show you some of these. These are all nice quality cards. Definitely going to sleeve them. So there are 2 levels of these two. That when you first get it, you get the higher power there, the more powerful action you can take. And then here you can tell you flip it after I think you use it once, I believe. And then after you use it twice, it's gone. You just have to get other ones. Yep, see after the X there, that means you have to use it a couple times, it's gone. So you get a whole big stack of these. So it gives you 4 ribbons on this, and then after you use it once, it's only got 2 ribbons. So you have to pick your time and place when you use these. But cool nonetheless. There's a whole bunch of these. all double-sided with reduced powers on the other side. So tons of these. Alright. So I just want to try to get down to the bottom one. Alright, here we go. And these look like the iconography. Some nice player aids for that. And then I think this is how you do the exhibitions. And it varies according to player, what you count and what you don't count. So very nice. A couple of those. So at least 2 of those. Maybe some more on the other decks. Alright, so that is that. Next deck right here. These are the designs right here that you're going to try to make. So open up these and show you these. Alright. So this is where the set collection and stuff comes in. So these are like dresses, and then looks like it's got some kind of pocketbook with it. So if you pair it with stuff, or you group them together, you can get extra bonuses. And these look like, yeah, different colors of thread that are used for these. So even though they're the same design, they're worth different points to sell them. And they use different types of thread for those. But definitely some cool artwork on them. Definitely bright colored. So I think each one of these are by different artists according to the color here. Very nice though. Again, I'm not so big into the actual theme, but I like it's just different. And has very excellent mechanics in the game. Like, I would never really be into dressmaking in Rococo, but it's got a lot of good mechanics in it. So mechanics definitely come first for me. And unique theme is what I like. So that's, I guess you could say that, even though I'm not particularly into the fashion industry, I do like the like how it applies to this game. That's interesting. No color in those. But there's color in these. That's interesting. Yep, so lots of different elements there. That's one deck there. I know there's one other deck here. So I think one of them was probably the Kickstarter additions there, and then so one of them is the bonus deck. So lots of designs. Definitely leaves room too for expansions. I'm not sure, but I believe that the original game did have some expansions to it. So maybe they'll do some of those for this, although some of the expansions are probably kind of, well, the extras you get, it's like getting an expansion in the game. A lot of Kickstarter exclusives and everything. So some more designs here. So again, nice clear iconography and everything. Not sure exactly why some of them are clear like that. Oh, because they probably feature the shoes. That's why. It's probably for the shoes. That might be it. Whatever it features is highlighted. Makes sense. So I think I've just about gone through it. Maybe not quite yet. This may be the last set here. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, so those look like it's all the patterns and stuff you can design, and looks like you got some, oh, credit. This is for credit. So if you got to take a loan out, which I guess is fairly common towards the beginning. You're going to take loans out. You just got to make sure you pay them off by the end, or else you, like I read before, you can't win the game. So this is taking credit. Oh no, so these aren't the credit things. These are just the individual. Oh, these are the employees. See, these are the employees, which give you special powers on them. And again, I think, yeah, and this is upkeep costs. You got to pay upkeep costs every round. So you got to pay your employees, of course. And you got to pay for your buildings and everything too, I think. So again, this starts off, looks like, I think you can upgrade your employees too. So this guy originally gives you $5 if you have him. But then it shows you on the back, when you train them, you can do training for your employees. Very thematic. And then he'll be able to give you $7 per round, or 7 units of money. But he'll cost you more of an income because he'll demand a higher pay. So very nice. So different people you can hire. And each one gives you a perk of some kind. And I think there's a couple of the player aids in here, I believe, towards the end. And these are loans right here. So these are 10-unit loan. And I think you have to have a certain amount of I don't know what you call it, but some kind of collateral kind of thing. So you have to have certain designs, or certain amount in designs, or a certain amount in something that you can, to show that you're going to pay the loan back. So and that allows you to take higher. The more collateral you have, the more you can take out in loans, which makes sense. That's realistic. And so more right here. And I don't know what that is really. Campaign appreciation. Oh, this is a Kickstarter. This is kind of neat. Looks like it's a Kickstarter exclusive. See if I can get you to read that. Have to focus, possibly. Yeah, campaign appreciation gifts. Thanks to all backers. That's pretty cool. So you get some extra stuff here. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's like 7, 8, 9, and 10. So it looks like another. Yeah, and here are the 2 other cards here, which have all the iconography on it. And this is some advertising. Stronghold. I don't think I've heard of that game. Oh, it's a new Kickstarter that's coming up. So it's promotion for a Kickstarter, which should be starting up in a little over a week or so. So I'll have to take a look at that, see if it's something that we want to do. Probably not. It looks like it's zombies or something. And then here, what's this? Portal Games 20 years. Okay. And yep, just some different people you can hire. And I think, let's see, is that it? I think there's one other thing here. No, that's it, looks like. Oh, no, looks like some stickers. So you get a sticker here. Not sure exactly where. Oh, I think that might go on. Probably goes on this right here. So that could be a first player token of some sort. That's probably what it is. So that's it. So that is Pret-a-Porter, or Pret-a-Porter, however you want to pronounce it. Let me pause the video and I'll show you the main board there really quick. Alrighty, so this is the main game board right here. It's kind of hard to get the whole thing into focus just because this is the way it's meant to be displayed here. Very tall. See if I can show you this as best as possible. So alright, so you have your different places where they're gonna be cards laid out here, and then you put your workers right here, depending upon where you want to go, and it looks like it's resolved 1. That's the loan thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here's where you purchase your thread and everything. Different qualities of thread. 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's very clear on how they're how the places are resolved. And then over here, there are going to be cards you're going to lay here, and it's going to show you where the exhibitions take place at the end of certain. This is the rounds right here, so it looks like it's 12 rounds, and it'll show you after a certain amount of rounds, you have your exhibitions and stuff, or your fashion shows. And then it's really cool around the edges, which I really liked. It was kind of looks like a measuring. I can't think of the name of it, but when you get measured around your waist and everything, it's like a cloth, like thread or something like that. That's not thread, but measuring stick. Can't think of the name of it, but it rolls up, and these are by inches and everything. Well, not in this right here, but yeah, very thematic. Everything seems to fit the theme, so very nice presentation and a very nice looking board. Just a one-sided board. I'll show you the back of it. It's just a regular black. But yeah, very nice though. I'm very pleased with the artwork and everything on it. Definitely a lot of bright colors on it. So alright, so that is Pret-a-Porter or Pret-a-Porter, however you want to say it, by Portal Games. So very nice game. Definitely can't wait to try this one. This one's going to be take a little bit to get to know, but hopefully it'll be straightforward and everything. So take care and God bless, and we will see you in the next Higher Ground Gaming unboxing video. Bye-bye now.